Throughout human history, there have been legendary assholes. Many will be remembered. Hitler, Stalin, the original Lassie. But today, we honor the forgotten assholes of history.
Now, we all know that the Romans were super into throwing Christians to the lions. It's just a historic fact that we know, like, say, Betsy Ross sewing the American flag, or Ross from Friends being the worst of the friends. But let's just stop for a second to think about that. This one set of humans took another set of humans and threw them into an arena with a bunch of hungry giant cats and then watched while they ate them. That is batshit crazy, even to me, and I read a lot of young adult fiction. And the guy whose great idea this all was this dude, Diocletian, Emperor of Rome from 284 to 305 AD. But wait, I hear you commenting in the comments section like the howling masses of the Colosseum. Lots of Roman emperors were huge tools. Most of them had sex with and or brutally murdered most of their immediate family members, as well as multiple species of animal and probably a few minor deities. Well, yes, that is very true. In fact, he wasn't even the only emperor who persecuted Christians. But the thing with Diocletian is just the extent of that persecution, which was terrifying. Diocletian's persecution of the Christians happened pretty slowly. In the first 15 years of his rule, he kicked them out of the army and surrounded himself with prominent anti-Christian advisors, because that's healthy, right? Just hiring people based on who they dislike, real classy. He then began forcing all citizens of the empire to make sacrifices to the Roman gods before going full-scale bananas in 302 and ordering churches to be razed to the ground. Christian politicians were stripped of their office, Christian worship was banned, and sacred texts were burned, while he just stood there like, "Are you not entertained?" That's a Gladiator reference for you, so you can take a moment to picture Russell Crowe in a skirt. Okay, you're welcome. Now, for me, the book burning, that's the real alpha dick move right there. I mean, it's bad enough when idiots burn books nowadays, but just imagine. It's 303 AD, there are no printing presses, all of your scrolls, scrolls are written out by hand by some poor sod who worked for years by lamplight to copy it out. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can barely sign my name in a Christmas card without having to take a nap. And I don't know if you read the Bible lately, but it's long. Like long. Diocletian's actions were meant to pull out the religion from its roots, and just because we know now that it didn't work, doesn't make it any less brutal. Now, it's very tempting to look at this from a modern perspective, where Christianity is the world's most prevalent religion, and countless undoubtedly arseholeish acts have been perpetrated in its name. But back then, it was a minority religion of essentially harmless people. Diocletian used the rebellious behavior of a small minority of Christians to persecute the lot of them in order to cement his own power. This was, and always will be a dick move. And may that never be forgotten.
Hi, I'm Glenn from Above Average. If you're on mobile, tap up here to see more cool stuff. If you're on a desktop, click here to subscribe, click here for more videos, or click all the way in the top corner to close the video and then go spend time with your family.